I cannot wait to show you today's project. But first, thanks for hopping back on to Auntie Tay's YouTube channel, because this project I'm pretty proud of. It took a lot of hours, but it was thrifting at its finest, which I absolutely love to do. When I moved to this house, there was this most amazing chair that I had ever seen, and it's comfy and it has all the things you could want, except it's hideous. The pattern, the color, everything about it was a bit rough. Now, it might be your taste. It's not mine. So I'm gonna show you guys how I used Auntie Tay chalked up paint and glitter to transform this chair into my new throne. I mean, I'm gonna reign from it from now on. Let's go. Hey everyone, it's Sam from the Auntie Tay team, and you're watching The Sam Show. Let's go make some fun things. Here is the chair, the before. It's rough, it's old, but I absolutely love the shape of it, and I knew it was worn. You can see there's a lot of parts that are in rough shape, so it needed to be DIY'd. I'm using my Bissell little green wet vacuum to wash it. It made it really nice to spray the water and then suck it up, and I did this, which kind of grossed me out because I have used this chair as like a nice reading chair. We've had it in different areas of our house, but it just does not match anything. But after I saw how dirty it was, I regret sitting in it and not washing it first before I sat in it, but it's clean now. So I just sprayed and let the water in the solution really sink in, and then I would vacuum it up, and I will show you. So if you don't like gross things, the next thing is gross. See, that's disgusting, but I washed it until the water was clean, and it's clean. So using Auntie Tay chalked up paint in teal, a scrub brush, a paintbrush, and a spray bottle filled with water, I sprayed my chair with water. You want it to be misted. It was kind of nice. It was damp after I had washed it, so you can go ahead and start painting your furniture right away. And then what you're kind of doing is like you're dyeing it. You really want it to be watered down. If it's not watery, it's gonna get crunchy, and you don't really want a crunchy chair. So working in layers in really wet paint is what's gonna give you the best fabric maintenance, of where it still is going to keep, a decent amount of the fabric texture. This method is really time consuming, but to thrift something for, just the cost of paint and your time, I'm so glad I was able to give it more life. But the first layer, I was a little meticulous on where I went. You do want to be careful around all your edges, because if the chalked up paint gets on there and it stays, especially on wood, it is going to be hard to get off. So just be careful. And if you want to help get into the fibers more, you can use your scrub brush, and it kind of like breaks the paint down from getting too hard. People will also use sandpaper, but my fabric, because it was really delicate, I was too scared about using the brush too much. So my paintbrush is really stiff, so I just made sure to really work the paint in and make sure that my paint was really watery, versus using the scrub brush or sandpaper as much. Now, the details of this were pretty meticulous. The piping along the edge, I really made sure that I got in every layer and all of it got paint, and I made sure that if I got any paint on the wood, I tried to get it off as soon as I got it on. And yeah, I just kept painting. It was a process. I enjoyed the process in the beginning. I enjoyed the process all the way through. It took about 5 layers to do the whole chair. And I let the paint dry in between layers, and I made sure to work the fabric and wet it again. And it's a process. It's a long process. But you don't want to just skip all of the steps and glob on paint. I mean, maybe you do, but your chair will be really stiff, and the fabric, it'll pretty much turn to like painted canvas instead of, painted fabric. You can see this is another day, and it looks so much better. With every layer, it made a huge difference. It did take me, like I said, I think it was 4 or 5 layers. I only did 4 layers on the back and 5 on the sides for sure. And you can see I'm taking the scrub brush and I was wetting the fabric down just so it kind of gets rid of the caked on paint feeling. And then here I'm going in with another final layer, and I think it made a huge difference, just the teal alone. So now where we are in my garage, I had to add something extra. So using the Super Tight Fusion Tack adhesive, I am going to put glitter on all of the wood edges. Yes, you heard that correctly, glitter. I am using the original Auntie Tay color, Gleam and Glow. If you're looking for a similar color now, if you use Little Explorer through It's Pretty Personal, that's the Auntie Tay partner for glitter. That's the color I would recommend if you're trying to find this same gold color. It's absolutely gorgeous. I used a paintbrush to put the glue on, and I tried to keep it on the wood as best as possible. It was kind of complicated. If you want to, you can tape it off. I didn't feel like it, but I would put the glue on really thin and then sprinkle glitter on. I would let the glue dry with the glitter on it, and then I would go back with a dry paintbrush and wipe the excess glitter off. I went and I glittered everything once and then went back and did a second coat of glitter on everything. We can take a moment of silence for all the lost glitter. Okay, and then I wanted to seal it, so I used a semi-gloss polyacrylic sealer. And if you're not in a well-ventilated area, you are going to want to wear like a mask or a respirator, but I was in my garage and you can't see, but both of the doors and windows and everything were open. But I went through and did a layer before I wiped too much of the glitter off, and we took an air compressor outside and sprayed off the excess glitter, but the polyacrylic and the super tight glue held the glitter on really, really well. This was more for any of the nooks and crannies that glitter is in before we put it into our house. So then we just took an air compressor and cleaned it out. And when I say we, I mean my husband, Matt. I just watched him and filmed him do it. But it turned out so cool, and I actually love the rips that are in it. I think it gives it so much character. I think this will be a great photography chair. It'll be a great reading chair. I'll eventually probably have to replace the seat cushion, but this is my throne, and all it was some paint and glitter. I mean, what else can fill a girl's heart like this?